boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, Corey Lee Boxing, man, we're back at it again, man. Wow, man, we got a lot to talk about today, man. There's definitely a lot to talk about, man. Wow. For one, for one, Earl Spence. Earl Spence is, I mean, it's saying that, pretty much a lot of people think that, Terence Crawford is the number one fighter right now, in this division. You know, it's not, Earl Spence, and they're pretty much saying that he surpasses him and he's better than him. And, you know, I truly believe, with both of these guys being so close in age and being so close and, you know, both of these guys in general being so close, in skill and stuff like that, I think it's definitely a close number one, number two. But I see why people are edging, Terrence Crawford as that number one welterweight now. But there's a catch. There's a catch. There's a um there's a catch though, man. So smash that like button as soon as you guys come in here, man. Definitely getting this happy Thanksgiving to everybody as well. Let's get these likes up, man. Yeah, man. So it's just saying just for stopping a dude Spence beat up 2 years ago. Yeah, I mean that's what they're saying though. They're saying pretty much, you know, Terrence Crawford, the Ring magazine has Terrence Crawford as the number one welterweight right now. So, you know, I truly feel that, with this being done, Terrence Crawford has definitely earned his position, and Earl Spence hasn't fought in almost 2 to 3 years. So you know, boxing is a what have you done for me lately? If you guys haven't noticed that by now, boxing is a what have you done for me lately? And lately, Earl Spence hasn't been doing anything, you guys. Earl Spence has not been doing anything. And I really think that Earl Spence could do more, but he has so many just situations come up. Like he had his eye surgery, that derailed his career a little while. And then, the car accident, that delayed his career a little more. So, I mean, I feel like, Earl, we haven't seen Earl Spence get in a rhythm in at least 3 to 4 years. I mean, I'm talking about like, I feel like when he beat Kell Brook, man, that was an elite Earl Spence. I wonder, if fans think that maybe Earl Spence, I'm not gonna say fell off, but he's not consistent. He hasn't fought in 2 years. Fans know that, and he said he just fought Danny last year. He fought Danny Garcia, I believe, in 2020. You know what I'm saying? And that's almost 2 years ago. Um, let's see when the last time Earl Spence fought, because I believe it's been 2 years by now. Him and Thurman, man, both of them dudes ain't fought in a while, man. They got to fight. I know that might be a fan, Jamal, in the chat, but he's got to fight, man. He's a prize fighter, you know. Um, and he fought Danny Garcia in December of 2020. So that means December 5th of 2020. So Jamal in the chat. So that means in about 7 days, 8 days, it'll be 2 years, buddy, that your guy Earl Spence hasn't fought, and you know, yeah, I just feel like right now, man, Earl Spence is not fought, and who is he gonna fight? Like who is Earl Spence gonna fight? He it's looking like that you guys fight not might not go down as planned. A lot of people want that fight to go down, but you gotta understand though, man, like. You guys, the WBA is pretty much saying, look, hey, we can't make this fight happen right now because they want him to fight his mandatory. And these mandatories do come up from time to time. These mandatories definitely come up from time to time, but I just truly feel that I mean, couldn't it wait? Couldn't it wait one more fight, man? Like, damn, man. I truly feel like it could have waited at least one more fight, man. I really feel like that. You know, I really truly feel like that. I'm good now. Damn. Damn, I'm good now. Smash that like button, y'all. NFL's coming on today as well, man. Shout out to all the NFL fans out there, man. Volts in the chat. Volts UK says an activity is every fighter's nightmare. Spence fans think he's Superman. That's what I'm saying. Jamal Rice says 7 days. That's 1 year. Laugh my ass off. That's not 2 years. No, he fought in December. Well, yeah, that is 1 year. But I mean, I know that's 1 year, but I'm just saying, like, it's been 2 years since he's fought Sean Porter. You know what I mean? That's what I was really trying to say. My bad, man. But yeah, man, it's been 2 years since he fought Sean Porter. And that Danny Garcia fight, I mean, yeah, he got the job done. And I mean, he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good in the Danny Garcia fight. I'm not taking anything away from Errol Spence. But like I said, like I said, Earl Spence, right now, in my personal opinion, you guys, Earl Spence, I want to see him fight more, don't you guys? Isn't that why we're inboxing to see our favorite fighters fight? Don't you guys want to see your favorite fighters fight? I know I do, and it's unfortunate, man. That Earl Spence have had these injuries and and has been inactive. I know he would like to fight more, but well, I would hope he would like to fight more, because when he said, "Do," when they asked Earl Spence, "Do you want to fight?" Can't he said the question was, "Do you want to fight Earl?" Does Earl the question was for Earl Spence, "Do you want to fight Terence Crawford next?" And Earl Spence replied, "We'll see, maybe." So it's just like one of those things. Like Terence Crawford's like my only objective is to fight Earl Spence. I want to fight Earl Spence. I'm fighting Earl Spence. What's happening? Let's get it popping. I'm ready right now. Okay? Earl Spence is not saying that shit, man. I'm sorry, man. I ain't D-Ride no fighter, man. He's not saying that shit, man. Straight up, man. Smash that like button, you guys. Let's get these likes up, man. UGC, what's happening? Jose R, what's happening, man? He said first time in this channel. Thank you so much, man. Smash that like button, you guys. This is Corey Lee Boxing, man. Votes in the chat says if Crawford signs with the PBC, they make the Spence fight straight away. A tune-up for Earl after eye surgery is what's happening next. Yeah, but Earl Spence said he didn't want to tune up. Earl Spence said he did not want to tune up. Remember, you guys? Earl Spence said, Earl Spence said that he did not want to tune up, you guys. So if Earl Spence doesn't want to tune up, you gotta feed him. You gotta feed him a wolf. You gotta feed him a wolf, man. You gotta feed him a wolf, man. You gotta feed him a real guy, man. You know, a champion. Somebody like Terence Crawford. I mean, you gotta feed him, man. Can we get these likes up, y'all? That's the only thing I ask you guys to do when you come in the show is get the likes up, man. That's the only thing. Stop what you're doing right now and just hit the like button. That's all you gotta do, man. It's so simple, man. I'm not even asking you guys to donate or anything. Just hit the like button. That's all you gotta do. Votes in the chat says PBC seems to be focusing on the Hispanic market. I mean, yeah, 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 yeah. Volts, yeah. I can see that. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. But it's one of those things, man. They got to get in return. It's one of those things, man. It's one of those things. They got to get a return on investment, man. You know, they got to get a return on investment. Straight up. You know, if the PBC is not making money, y'all, as soon as you guys come in here, smash the like button, please, man. That's all I ask, man. Is just smash the like button. You don't got to donate. You don't have to do anything but hit the likes button. Hit the like button. As soon as you guys come in here, say, boom. Say, I like Corey Lee Boxing. I'm going to hit the like button. Boom. You know, so, yeah. Jose says, facts, Texas look bad. Wow. Wow. He says, Spence. Jose R in the chat says Errol Spence is making Texas look bad. Wow, man. I mean, that's tough, man. That's tough. Volts says the boss Heyman will decide who Spence fights next. That's true. That's very true. That's 100% true. And you know, I feel like, you know, Al Heyman has too many fighters, man. I'm gonna just call a spade, man. Al Heyman has too many fighters. Not enough of his fighters are fighting right now. And you know, I really feel like Earl Spence can fight, you know, shit. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I know this is not probably gonna happen, but I would love to see you know, Terence Crawford versus Earl Spence. Don't you guys want to see that? Isn't that why we're here? You know, to see that fight, right? You know, I mean, shit. That's what I want to see. You know, I want to see the Earl Spence versus Terence Crawford fight. You know, the Ring Magazine is putting Earl Spence #1 right now. So I truly feel, I mean, excuse me, the Ring Magazine is putting Terence Crawford #1. So I truly feel right now that, you know, with that being done, um, you know, I feel like Earl Spence he's gotta come back, and he's gotta come back harder. You know, he's gotta come back harder than he's ever came back. And I think he can do it. I think he will do it. Um, but you know, he hasn't even announced the fight yet, and I think that has a lot of fans, you know, uneasy right now. Jamal Wright says, bruh, Crawford been he says Crawford been saying Spence fight. Pass him. He don't want to fight Spence no more. Bro, Crawford been say Spence fight past him. He said that, but you see what he's saying now. You see what he's saying now, Jamal. He's saying that he wants to fight Earl Spence now. He did say that before, but he's saying that he do want to fight Earl Spence now. So you gotta, respect the man that's saying, what he's saying now. Obviously, men lie, women lie. You know, I feel like the numbers don't. And and I just feel like, Crawford's been fighting consecutive welterweights over and over and over and over, and he's been busy. You know, one thing about Crawford, he's been staying busy for the most part. So I feel like that has a lot of fans, clamoring and mentioning his name more and stuff like that, man. And I'm gonna be honest, man. You know, Earl Spence hasn't been in the ring in over almost a year, so out of sight, out of mind. You know, I feel like if Earl Spence is not in the ring, a lot of fans are not maybe they're not paying attention as much. Smash that like button, guys. As soon as you guys come in, smash the like button and subscribe to Corey Lee Boxing. And thank you. But yeah, Volts in the chat says Earl can fight. He says Earl can want to fight King Kong, Corey, but Heyman says what's next? It's the reality. That's not necessarily the true though. That's not necessarily 100% true. Because Adrian Broner, out from what I was told, Al Heyman told Adrian Broner to not fight, okay? To not fight Marcus Madonna. He still fought him anyways. So it was his choice to not fight him. I mean, to fight him. So I just feel like, at the end of the day, you are the fighter. And I feel like you have the last final decision. I feel like, obviously you have matchmakers and stuff like that. But, you know, sometime in a fighter's career, man, like Canelo Alvarez, man. Canelo Alvarez fights who he wants to right now. You know, Terence Crawford right now, you guys, is fighting who he wants to fight, man. You know, and he's a free agent. Canelo was a free agent, and I really truly feel that when you're a free agent in boxing right now, man, that's an awesome time right now. That's an awesome time, and here's why, you guys. You know, I just really feel like when you're a free agent, you can fight different fighters, you can different things, in different networks. But look, Eddie Hearn has already said, you guys. Eddie Hearn has already said that he's not signing Terence Crawford, or he's not, I guess working with Terence Crawford right now or something. So I truly feel that there's something behind people. So it's almost looking like Terence Crawford only has one shot and only one network to work with right now, for the most part, and that's PBC, man. He's got to make this deal with PBC work. I think he will. I think PBC has something for him. He's a hungry black fighter, and I feel like he'll do very well, man. He'll do very well at PBC, man. Stylistically, he has a lot of matchups he can fight with, man. Over there at the PBC. Only thing that Bob Arum was offering him was the Josh Taylor fight. You know, that's the only fight that Terence Crawford and Bob Arum was talking about, was that Josh Taylor fight. I don't know about you guys, man, but I'm not in a hurry to see the Josh Taylor fight. I don't really have to see the Josh Taylor fight, to be honest with you guys. Not right now, man. Josh Taylor's still at 140. Let him do his thing at 140. When he moves up to 147, don't let Terence Crawford be the first fight at 147, and especially not on pay-per-view. That's something that I don't want to see. Josh Taylor versus Terence Crawford. Yes, some fans might be clamoring for it over there in the UK, but that's a fight that I really don't have to see, right now. I feel like right now, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford need to happen straight up. Josh Taylor is not even a side dish at this point. He's at 140. You guys is a good side dish, I guess you could say, quote unquote. Being that he lost to Sean Porter and a couple other guys. I feel like you guys are still there though. He beat Manny Pacquiao. He came back with a vengeance. He beat Manny Pacquiao, and I just really truly feel that he's doing some good things, man. He really is. I really truly think that you guys has done well in the welterweight division so far. He beat a guy like Manny Pacquiao, what a lot of guys didn't think he could beat, and a lot of guys didn't think he could win that fight, but he won that fight. You know, but right now, the number one welterweight is what the Ring magazine is saying. Is they're saying pretty much that Terence Crawford is the number one welterweight, you guys. Earl Spence was, I believe, and now due to inactivity, being only one fight in the last almost 2 years, um, it's just one of those things, man. He needs to be more active. I mean, that's the only thing I can say. Um, you know, Terence Crawford's active. We see Terence Crawford's active. He's getting it in. He's getting the fights in. He's fighting, people that we want to see him fight. You know, I mean, look, the Sean Porter versus Terence Crawford fight, be it what it may, you guys, that was an entertaining fight. That was an entertaining fight. I got my money's worth, man. I got my money's worth out of that fight, man. Maybe not the undercards as much, but the main event, I got my money's worth. I don't know about you guys, man, but I got my money's worth. It was a pretty good main event. But I feel like a lot of guys out here, in boxing, they want to see the best fight the best. And a lot of fans are getting sick and tired of these YouTubers coming in, making millions, fighting, Joe Schmo and fucking getting millions. And these guys that really do boxing won't even fight their best fighters. So I just feel like, fans are getting tired of that, and I just really, truly, right now, I really want to see, what they can do. I want to see Terence Crawford fight some of the top guys at the PBC, man. You know, you got Keith Thurman out there. Keith Thurman is a really good hot commodity right now. A lot of people are talking about him. His name is ringing bells again, and I think he just needs to get his ass in the ring. You know, Keith Thurman just needs to get his ass in the ring. It's been a while since he's been in the ring, and inactivity is the number one thing that can destroy a fighter's career, man. If a fighter is inactive, I truly feel like, you know, he is it's not benefiting him. Boxing is a very short, you have a very short time span on boxing, man. And it's a short window, man. A lot of fight fans and a lot of fighters don't even fucking know that, man. A lot of fighters don't even know their own career is short. You know, I mean, you got so many fighters that you know will never be their prime, or their prime has came and gone, or certain opportunities or what it may have passed them by. I've seen fighters get bad decision after bad decision, and after a while it fucks with your mental, So boxing is a very very you know it's a very unique sport. I would say that, man. It's my favorite sport, but when it comes to the judging, the fucking terrible, terrible judging, that's number one. Okay. The horrible promoting, okay, that's number two. And just fighters not when us not holding fighters accountable. They're blowing smoke and mirrors. They're saying they want to fight, you know, Adam and John. They're saying they want to fight the number one and number two fighters, but they're showing us something different. They're telling us they want to fight the number one and two fighter, but they're doing something different, you know? And that goes for all the divisions, man. There's only a very few select fighters that are really fighting the best fighters out there, you know? And that will fight the best fights out there. I mean, shit. Right now, from what it's looking like, David Benavidez is a prime example of fighting anybody. He says he wants to fight anybody. He's sending contracts out, so it's not like it's smoke and mirrors. And I think he's a man of his word. I think David Benavidez is a man of his fucking word, dude. And I think he will fight the best of the best. And but the question is, will the best of the best fight him? That's the $1 million question right there. Romania Mike, what's going on, Romania Mike? What's happening, man? And just like I said, shout out to Goodfellas T Sports. Um, he just posted like what I just said. Eddie Hearn has no interest in promoting Terence Crawford. Eddie Hearn says he has no interest in promoting Terence Crawford. Okay, one of the top promoters in boxing says, and I quote, "I have no interest in promoting Terence Crawford." The longest reigning welterweight champion, I believe, in boxing right now. The longest reigning welterweight champion in boxing. One of the top promoters said that they don't want to promote him. There's a reason why. I don't know the reason at this moment, but I damn sure will be finding out soon for you guys. I know that. I want to know why. I want to know why Eddie Hearn says that he will not promote Terence Crawford. What's the reason behind that? Why won't you promote him? I truly feel like Terence Crawford is a promotable fighter. He's a fucking mean fighter, but he's promotable, you know? And maybe Eddie Hearn sees something that he doesn't like. I don't know. Maybe he came rub him and Bob Arum rubbed him off the wrong way. Romania Mike says David Benavidez sparred Triple G. Yeah, when he was like 15 years old. And Triple G said that he held his own. So that shows you right there. David Benavidez can hold his own at 15 years old fighting Triple G, or 16 years old fighting Triple G or sparring Triple G. What the fuck can he do now? Or oh mano calor. Yo, that's my new intro for you, Armando. Armando Cologne Holmes. That's my new if I once I get my laptop and once I get everything straight, you guys, my live streams are gonna be so much better, man. I'm gonna have I got so many thoughts and so many ideas and shit like that. And I can't wait to give them to you guys, man. I really truly feel like this shit gonna be the best thing smoking out here. Cause there's already been some YouTube channels that's took some of my ideas, but it's all good, But I've been doing this shit for a while. I've been doing this shit for about 3 years. If you guys are just joining, and I've interviewed, if you guys can see my catalog, I've interviewed, you know, a lot of world champions. I was in a Jared Hurd camp when he fought Julian J. Rock Williams, his first career loss. Rest in peace to his father. His father, really had a lot of, love for me. I feel like, he invited me to the camp. He said, Corey, you can interview Jared Hurd when he lost his first professional fight. And I was the only interviewer that did that. So that meant a lot. That gave me the drive to keep doing this boxing shit. And I'm gonna keep doing it, man. I'm gonna keep doing it. I really want my channel to be more interview based um, you know, content, but I'm here. I do the live streams. You guys like the shit, so I do the shit. But I like talking to you guys too, man. That should be kind of fun to me. Armando says, just woke up like 30 minutes ago, saw you were live. I was like, all right, 100. Yeah, man. So this is what I'm saying, Armando. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You know, right now, you know, we want to see the best fight the best. Isn't that why we watch boxing? Isn't that why we watch certain YouTube channels and stuff like that? Because you're like, oh shit, breaking news. Terence Crawford has just became a free agent. The first thing that you pop in your head when you say that Terence Crawford became a free agent, you like, oh shit, we can see the Terence Crawford Errol Spence fight now. That's the first thing that popped into my head. And I was just like, yes, man, we can finally see it. Everything will be dope. And yeah, man. But I don't know if we're gonna see that in the first fight. I would love to see it, but I don't know if we're gonna see it. You know. Um, but yeah, man. Right now, you guys, in the welterweight division, I just truly think that Keith Thurman can make a splash, man. I really do, you guys. Keith Thurman right now, is I feel like he could possibly come back and be that dark horse. But what Keith Thurman are we getting? If we're getting a hungry Keith Thurman that might have dwindled some of his millions and that maybe he's hungry again, um, and I don't know the mindset of some of these fighters. I know their skill. I know exactly what they're gonna. I know most of the time exactly what they're gonna. I know not exactly what they're gonna do in the ring, but I know stylistically, how they fight and stuff like that. But the main thing is how did they train coming into that fight? That is the main thing because if you don't train good, you don't look good. So you know the secrets and you know the hitting things in boxing is all from training camp. If your training camp isn't right, then you're not going to be right. And a lot of these fighters don't, they learn that late. They're like, well, I've been training this way and it's got me this far. I'll just, I'll try to amp it up a little bit, when I become a world titleist. But eventually that fighter finds somebody that just completely wipes them out, and their training really wasn't enough. But like we seen in Caleb Plant trained his ass off for that Canelo fight, and I just really feel like you got to go to a whole different level to fight Canelo, man. And Caleb Plant didn't go there. Caleb Plant, for whatever reason, didn't go there. Um, Yeah, man. I think he should have spent a lot more time with Andre Ward. I think that would have helped him out a lot. Not just a couple weeks, a couple months, maybe a year. And then fight Canelo. A guy like Andre Ward in your corner. helping out Caleb Plant for over a year, I think that would have gave him a lot of more chances to win that fight. I would say that. Armando says if Spence and Crawfish don't fight yet, Jerron Boots Ennis is going to ruin they fight and get on of them. Get all of them. Yeah, I mean Jerron Boots Ennis is a threat. I'm not gonna lie, he is in the welterweight division. He is a threat. Um, but moving forward, you guys, there's other threats in the division. I truly feel like, Keith Thurman can still be that threat, man. I really do. I really do. I really think Keith Thurman can be that threat. But will he train? Will he train enough? Will Keith Thurman train enough and be hungry enough to fight the fighters we want to see him fight and to fight, these big top fighters. There's only a couple fighters at the top, and I feel like Keith Thurman is still at the top. Yes, he took a loss to Manny Pacquiao, but I feel like he can rebound. And I feel like, he can definitely give, I feel like a prime and a focused Keith Thurman can hold his own against any of the top welterweights. I'm gonna definitely say that. I gotta watch what I say, but I'm gonna definitely say that. Hold on, you guys. Man. But yeah, I can definitely say that, man. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Your boy, your boy's gotta get his smoothie for today. Yeah. You guys gotta go to Tropical Smoothie, man. Get you guys a smoothie. Tropical Smoothie, bro. Yeah, Tropical Cafe. They got some bomb ass shit, bro. Just saying. Um, but yeah, man, I really truly feel that Jerron Boots Ennis can be that threat at the welterweight division. But we gotta see. We gotta see. That's why they call this sport boxing, because you can't play boxing. You can't. It's like no other right now. It's like no other right now. You know. Armando in the chat says Plant trained his ass off. He was clearly more hungry. Yeah, he was more. I feel like I truly feel like Caleb Plant for that Canelo fight. He did train his ass off. I'm not gonna lie, he did train his ass off. I did see that he was consistent and that he was definitely dialed in and that he was definitely ready, to give, Canelo Alvarez a good fight. But something that and it was that punch that just wobbled him, man. It caught him right on the brain, like right on the top of his head. And that just messed his equilibrium up. And after that he just fell down, man. And I just feel like he could never really recover. And Canelo is a really good finisher, man. Canelo Alvarez is a really good finisher and a dominant finisher. Um, and once Caleb Plant got in trouble, man, I was like, it was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time before Canelo completely wipes this dude the fuck out. I mean, when he sees a guy hurt, he sees. I mean, he's almost like he sees a green light, like like let's go, it's go time. Like right now, the fight is starting, even more than it started before. Like I, I have it on kind of. I'm not gonna say Canelo had it on cruise control leading up into that because he was picking his shots and he was putting in a lot of work. But when Canelo hurts you, he keeps going. Like he doesn't stop. It's not like Canelo's gonna, hurt you and then stop. No, Canelo's gonna hurt you and continue to mash the gas forward. You know. Armando says Plant trained his ass off. He was clearly more hungry. He did good. He says he did good in the fight. But that fight proved no matter how hungry you are, boxing is all about experience and skill. Canelo had that. Yeah, yeah. Canelo definitely had that, man, for sure. And now Canelo is fighting a cruiserweight, you guys. Armando, how do you feel about Canelo Alvarez fighting the cruiserweight, man? I mean, my personal opinion about Canelo fighting, the cruiserweight. For one, I've seen him fight before. The cruiserweight he's fighting, Makabu. He fought Tony Bellew, man, and Tony Bellew iced the shit out of this dude. So it's like I know Canelo sees weakness in his fighter, but it's just one of those things. Like, is this? You can't say Canelo going up to cruiserweight is a cherry pick. I feel like that's disrespecting the boxing. But Canelo Alvarez is listed at 5'9", 168 pounds right now. So right now, I think he walks around at probably about 190, 185. I doubt very, very rarely or very highly that Canelo Alvarez has gotten over 200 pounds. Um, I doubt it, but he could have. But my personal opinion is I think that his weight for versus a cruiserweight, I think he should come in at about 180 something. I think that'll be a good fighting weight for him. He just fought at 168. He just beat Caleb Plant at 168 and did pretty good. But I just really feel like right now, you know, Canelo moving all the way up in that weight, man. We've seen Roy Jones do it. Um, you know, but you going up and down in weight like that, man, can deter your career. I truly feel like that, man. You know, that could definitely hinder your career, for sure. Without a doubt. Let me see what we talking about in the chat. Um, let's see what we talking about. Armando in the chat says the only clink I see in Boots' armor is he has no defense, but his offense is insane. Very good power, great jab, combinations, and footwork. He's all offense. Yeah, that's 100% true, man. He's definitely got to work on his defense. He was definitely getting hit, and he got hit with a couple shots in that Delorme fight. I mean, it ended fast, but I've seen some of the other fights where he got hit more, and he definitely got to work on his defense for sure. Armando says, "Nah, Corey, the zone's heights are bullshit. He isn't 5'9". Canelo is actually 5'7" or 5'8" even. Will you say he barely 5'8"? If Canelo's 5'8", he's barely 5'8". Yeah. But I mean, not switching the subject because I know we were talking about Canelo, but I really want to know why Eddie Hearn would not sign Terence Crawford. You know, I really want to know that, man. I want to know why. I'm gonna tell you what Eddie Hearn has said, you guys. I'm gonna tell you what he said. I'm gonna pull up the article. I'm gonna pull up the article for you guys. Eddie Hearn said he don't want to. He has no interest in promoting Terence Crawford. So he says Matchroom boxing promoter Eddie Hearn says he has no interest in fighting Terence Crawford now. Oh, says he has no interest in fighting Terence Crawford now. I guess he meant to say promoting. Um, Hearn says he doesn't have the fights to offer Crawford to sign the 34-year-old WBO welterweight champion. You know, Crawford's 38-0 with 29 big wins coming by way of knockout. And Eddie Hearn pretty much is saying that he doesn't have a big fights for um, Eddie Hearn right now. So I mean, excuse me, Eddie Hearn doesn't have the big fights for for you know, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is just one of those guys, man. He beat a lot of guys already. He's beat a lot of guys at 140 that's moved up, and he's beat a lot of guys at 147. He's got 38 wins, man. I believe he started his championship run when he was in, 20 something and 0. So he's been fighting champions for a while, man. and or defend his belt. Eddie Hearn says Top Rank has lost money on Crawford. Wow. Wow, here we go. Now it's coming out. Now it's coming out, Armando. I'm ready to get to the nitty gritty of this shit. You know, they're pretty much saying, look, man, top top rank lost money on Terence Crawford. He says Eddie Hearn says Top Rank has lost money on Crawford. He says I thought it was quite brutal. He says, but wasn't it not quite long ago where Aaron was saying to Crawford that he was expensive and he could have bought a house in Beverly Hills instead of something like that, said Eddie Hearn to IFL TV when asked his thoughts on Crawford telling the media in Bob Aaron presence last week he's leaving Top Rank. Yeah, he definitely said he's leaving Top Rank. He says, Eddie Hearn says it's a business. Top Rank hasn't paid Crawford a lot of money. Hearn continued. They've lost a lot of money and would think they lost substantial money last weekend. Wow. He says, I think they would have lost massive money on the Amir Khan fight against Crawford. And he says April 2019 on ESPN pay-per-view. So they backed Crawford. But that's what you have to do as a promoter. Yeah, he says they Top Rank haven't been able to deliver him the marquee fights. Don't forget the Crawford Porter fight was called by the WBO, not by Bob Arum. Wow. So Bob Arum initially didn't even get that Sean Porter fight. The WBO, the WBO stepped in and said, "Look, Sean Porter's the mandatory, pretty much," and that's how he got the fight. So that says a lot. That says a lot. He says he didn't make that fight. Eddie Hearn says Bob Arum didn't make that fight. It was called as a mandatory, and Crawford, wants to move on. He wants to make those fights, Eddie Hearn said. He says Arum has been raving about how great Crawford is for years, comparing him to Sugar Ray Leonard and other greats in hopes of making a star, but it hasn't worked out. Crawford isn't flashy like Leonard was, and he doesn't possess the immense one punch power of Tommy Hearns or the brawling style of Marvin Hagler. Yeah, he's a switch hitter who proves himself on not getting hit. Yeah, that's true. That's very true, man. That's very, very true, man. Armando, Trap Media, what's happening, man? What's going on, Trap Media? What are you doing, my brother? How's everything going, man? Shout out to Trap Media in the chat, man. Armando says, I think Canelo at cruiserweight is a good legacy fight. Yeah, I think it is too, man. I think it is too. I think it's an awesome legacy fight. He said, I think Canelo at cruiserweight is a good legacy fight. He says, he says, due to it being a fifth division for him. But if Canelo actually does a legit cruiserweight fight, no catchweight BS. Armando says, yeah, man, Crawford can't sell, man. He's done 150,000 and 190,000 pay-per-view buys. It's just facts. He can't sell, but I think Crawford to PBC is the best fit for him due to all of the champions being with the PBC at 147. Yup. And I think Al Heyman will set up a good little plan for him where he can where he can make those fights and he can do the things that he needs to do to win this fight. I mean to get the fights and to win the fights. I think that Crawford will fight a couple guys before, he fights Errol Spence for sure. He said, "What's up? All is well. God bless." Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys, man. But man, look, man, I gotta get to the family, man. I've been on live for almost an hour now, man. It's Thanksgiving. I'm gonna spend some time with the family, man. I appreciate all of you guys for watching, man. We got some new subs that came in, I believe. And thank you guys so much, man. And I'll definitely hit you guys with another banger on the next live stream. I will be going live tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. So I'll be going live tomorrow, you guys. Probably I'll say I'm gonna go live tomorrow, probably around lunchtime. I would guess. So probably around 12 o'clock, you guys. So you guys can check me out here at Corley Boxing tomorrow at about 12 p.m. Eastern time. And